Okay, okay, okay. Okay. What is up, guys? It's Atlas here. Today, I have another Reddit video for you guys. I had so much fun making, recording, editing, everything on the last video. Not that I didn't have fun with the paranormal video, but that one, it was just like, oh, I've been wanting to make a video like that for years, like a year, and it was great. And the reception that I got from the people that I know and people that I didn't know was great. Like the video's doing well. So I thought, you know what, this week I'm going to do it again. Next week, I'm not going to make a Reddit video. I'm going to talk about other things. I might go back to the paranormal, or I might talk about something else, you know? I was thinking about making a video on a game that's been getting really popular lately called Arc Raiders, and why I like it, why I dislike it. I do play it a lot before anyone gets on me in the comments. But my voice sounds a lot better this week because I don't have, 30 pounds of gunk in my body. So I wanted to give a really, I'm the king of shout outs. Okay. I like shouting out the people that help me with a lot of different things. So I wanted to give a shout out to the lighting exchange because I have something else pulled up. I wanted to give a shout out to Uwu Milku. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm putting your comment right here. They left two separate comments. Thank you so much for the comment. It means the world. It means so much that I'm in the next video. I'm talking about you. But their second comment was r/relationships and r/relationship advice. And guess what? That's where we are. Today, you're going to learn a lot about me in a very short amount of time. Because today we're talking about relationship advice. I got 3 stories for you. Just to let you know, I did the top of this month. So in the last 30 days from the time of recording this, I did the top of this month and I pulled 3 stories that the titles looked pretty juicy. Okay? I love relationship advice. Now, I want to say this as well. Everybody has different views on relationships. My views on relationships are going to be different from your views on relationships. So there could be a lot of disagreeing in terms of what I say. And I'm okay with that. Okay? This video, I'm going to be talking about my views on relationships. If you disagree, talk about it in the comments. Tell me what you disagree with. Just know that I'm not saying that this is the definitive, like everyone should be thinking this way about relationships. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Because we're going to hop right into it. They're not setting their best. So our first story, I've only read the title of these. I'm going to say that a lot. 23F, for those of you that don't know, 23 female. Met my boyfriend's 25 male work wife for the first time, and I am devastated. Oh, howdy. Here we go. So, throwaway account because this is pretty personal drama, and I don't want all my friends knowing about this just yet. I have been with my boyfriend for 5 years now, and he's been at his current job for a few years. We will call him Jake. I've never met any of his coworkers until last night, but there's one in particular who we will call Amy. Now, off the bat, I want to say I will never understand this work wife, work husband BS. Okay, I will never understand it. I'm not even going to try to understand it. I'm going to say that right now, so that might influence my opinion. He sometimes does favors for her, fixing her car, going to her house to fix stuff around her house, etc. And I was never really concerned because he told me all of his coworkers are a lot older than him. However, one night while he was asleep, his guy friend kept blowing up his phone, so I answered to let him know Jake was sleeping and so was I, so please stop calling. Anyways, before I put the phone down, I noticed 5 unread text messages from Amy. I guess some of the spam notifications were from her. One of them said, "Great Jake, now everyone thinks we are effing." I'm trying to limit my swears. So far, so far, we're not an IATA, so I can't really be like, you're the asshole. I don't know. This really concerned me. So the next day after Jake got home from work, I asked about it. He said that both him and Amy were late for work that morning, so everyone probably assumed that, and it was just a joke. I thought it was weirdly unprofessional joke, and expressed my discomfort. He invited me to the bar with him and his coworkers that night, so I could meet her and see it was nothing to worry about. Great. Great. Awesome. If I was in that situation, that's what I would do. I'd be like, hey, come meet her. It did not soothe my nerves. I spoke too soon. Turns out Amy is not a lot older than him. She's only 3 years older and super pretty. The entire night she was all over him, touching him, okay. Leaning on him, alright. Putting his arms around him, okay, alright. And even kissed him on the cheek and he acted like it was normal. Bourgeois. They were constantly teasing each other in that middle schooler who doesn't know how to properly flirt yet kind of way. She told me all about how she loves him like a brother and also told me she's had sex with half of their other coworkers and that she got the next morning off because she sent a coworker nudes to get him to cover for her. Later on, she started crying and sobbing at the bar, actual tears, because she's so lonely and wants someone to love her, and my boyfriend ended up having to comfort her. I am just unsure what to do or say. My boyfriend kept acting like this was normal, that he wasn't doing anything wrong by entertaining this behavior, and I can't ask him to cut her off. They're on the same unit, and they have to work together. I literally do not know what to do about this, but I am disgusted knowing that this has been going on these years that he's worked with her. How can I set boundaries when they're forced to be around each other all the time at work? Oh, jeez. Okay. Jake, you don't know me. My name's Atlas. Lovely name. I know. Carry the world on your shoulders. That's the whole point. Jake, you're dropping the ball. You're dropping the ball in a way that somehow the ball is ending up in a different sport. And the problem that I see here, granted I'm a guy, so I'm trying to see it from Jake's perspective. I'm not a woman. So I can't really see it from Amy's perspective, but Amy seems like somebody that you have to worry about. Not necessarily Jake. And let me cook with that because I know some people are going to yell at me for saying that. Right now, I can give the benefit of the doubt to Jake because he could have the mindset of, this is a coworker, I'm in a relationship, he's blind. A lot of people are blind to certain things, right? For me, I'm blind to a lot of, like, if somebody's into me, I'm very blind to it because, you know, for a long time, I didn't see myself as somebody that somebody could, you know, I'm not trying to open up or anything, but somebody could be interested in. Does that make sense? So, like, it was blinding to me, and other people would be like, lock in, dial in, you know? So I'm trying to see it from that perspective, but also taking myself out. I'm like, Jake, what the hell are you doing? You're dropping the ball. You have a girlfriend who's clearly insecure, has talked to you. It's the it's the fact that, I don't think you said your name, but the OP said, like, hey, what was this about? And in the middle of the story, I was like, yeah, bring her, talk about it. But everything that happened made it a lot worse. And there's no update. I checked. I figured out how to look for updates. I say I figured out. I had one of my friends tell me over text that I could have done it. But the question was, how can I set boundaries when they're forced to be around each other all the time after work? Unfortunately, the only person that you could set boundaries with is Jake. If Amy is making you feel very insecure, I would have a conversation with Jake. I would say, hey, based on the text that I saw and the things that she told me when we were out and her behavior, I don't like Amy being around you. You got to say, I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel good. You got to talk about I, right? Because if you know, we're not going to get into how to have a proper conversation with your significant other, but when you talk about I feel, it makes it a lot better. And it's not like you're establishing reality. Like, oh, Amy's unstable. It could be like, Amy makes me feel insecure, especially with the way that she speaks to you, yada, yada, yada. After that, it's up to Jake. And whatever Jake does after that conversation that's when you step in. Does that make sense? That's when you go, you know, I want you to limit contact, whatever, like, it would make me feel better. I hope I'm making sense. I'm trying not to ramble. I felt like in my last video, I rambled a lot. And now I feel like I'm rambling a lot. Bottom line, bottom line, bottom line, bottom line. Have a conversation with Jake, see what Jake does. Make moves based on Jake's actions. That's what I would say. I'm going to get into some comments. First comment, Silver Grain Dust says, your gut is working. None of that is normal coworker behavior, and it's okay to be disturbed. One small step, calmly tell him you need a firm boundary like no touching/kisses, no outside of work favors, and see if he actually respects that. I skipped over that, didn't I? Yeah, she was all over him the entire time. I apologize. I completely... And the OP responded to that saying, thank you, I will try that and see if he respects it or not. Most people were telling me to just leave, but a part of me finds it really difficult to end a long-term relationship without at least attempting to talk out the issue with him. Yeah, I still stand by what I said in terms of having the conversation with Jake, but I completely just... She was kissing him all over him, and she was like, I'm so lonely. This is where conspiratorial Atlas comes in and says that she has these relationships with her coworkers, sending nudes to get covered, you know, having sex with them. But it seems like your boyfriend is the only one she sees as boyfriend material, right? I think that's what's happening. However, kissing, touching, all of that, when you're around, that is a bing, 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 bing. That's a red flag, okay? I'm not sure who it's on. I think it's on both of them. They're carrying red flag. Last comment, just kinda happened XX says he has dated you for 5 years, and instead of asking you to marry him and start a real life together, he is treating another woman like his girlfriend, fixing her car, house, giving her rides, flirting with her, etc. That's what you do with someone you have feelings for. The fact that none of the coworkers batted an eye to tell you this goes on all the time between the two of them. Sometimes I hate how Reddit types out, but I probably type worse, to be fair. And this is the behavior they let you see. I can guarantee their behavior when they are alone at her house is much worse. She was all over him to let you know he may be yours on paper, but truly he is hers. God damn. Why do you want a relationship to work with someone who hasn't committed to you in 5 years but is cheating on you? Maybe it's only emotional cheating, but I highly doubt that's where it stops. Also, why is emotional cheating acceptable to you? He's giving attention to a woman in a way he should only give to you. That takes away from the specialness of you being in a couple. It breaks your bond because if he's emotionally invested in her, then he has pulled back from you. I agree. I think emotional cheating is cheating. I think any sort of lying is cheating. I think having relations with someone else is cheating. Emotional cheating, like anything that is kept under wraps is cheating to a certain way. Now, like I said, I can see it from the male perspective where maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, and that's why I highly recommend the conversation. But the fact that this person put it perfectly, it's like, this is what they allowed you to see. This is what they were comfortable with you seeing. And that's the problem, okay? Let's be completely honest. That's a problem. Oh, Jake. That story's crazy. It's a lot crazier than I thought it would be when I read the title. There is no... I'm going to check really fast. There is no update. But she was responding a lot in comments. And this is someone that uses Reddit fairly often in the last 2 weeks. Okay. That's it for that story. The only thing that really came out in terms of my own views was how I view cheating. And then I tried to see it from Jake's perspective. I hope that didn't piss anybody off. I like, when I read a story, I want to see it from everybody's perspective. And the only person that is like, based on everything that was typed, that is 100% a villainous, diabolical, needs to get their shit together human is Amy. And Jake needs to take off the glasses and realize what the hell he is doing. I'm also curious to know what he does for work. I don't know if I also skipped over that, but they said they work in the same unit. So part of me wants to say like medical, but then there's like shifts. So I could be completely wrong. Let's move on to the next story. Dole Albatross 08. Adult bird. I, 27 male, just found out my wife, 26 female, went home with another man from the bar Saturday. We have 2 kids, aged 2 and 3. She doesn't know I know. Is there any way we can come back from it? On the title alone, don't even try. Call me harsh. Oh boy, this one's the thickums. Title says the bulk of it. My wife of 7 years had an affair Saturday night. So he was 20 when you got married and you were 19? Or is that like, I'm gonna assume this is the total time that you guys have been together. She said she was going to the bar with her dad and woke up sleeping with an ex-boyfriend from 2018. What? I was home with our 2 young daughters, oblivious to what had happened until one of her friends confronted me today and broke the news. W friend, W friend. The best part of it all is that I found out about it while on the way to meet the wife for the very rare child-free dinner, and because I was afraid of making a mistake out of emotion, I had to sit across from her with this new knowledge in my stomach. They spelled new wrong. While she talked about our plans to start trying to for baby number 3, IUD comes out tomorrow. How much she's enjoyed staying home from raising our kids, and how much she's appreciated everything I do to allow her to stay home and focus on being a mother to our little girls. I wanted to vomit. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've heard and listened and read a lot of stories where somebody will cheat. They will cheat, and in order to clear their conscience, they'll go on subreddits like this and they'll talk like, I did this, I didn't mean for it to happen, all this stuff, but I'm not going to tell them because they don't need to know, and I can't live without them. Part of me wants to say that's what's happening here, because you said she went to a bar and then she wound up sleeping with an ex-boyfriend from 2018. This was posted 3 days ago, and you guys have been together for 7 years. So this was her previous ex-boyfriend to you. Because with the math, 2019, yeah, it's literally the boyfriend before you. Jeez, I can't imagine being in that situation. But I highly respect not having like an emotional outburst, 100%. Okay. I have tried my best to not let on that I know, but she was extremely lovey-dovey tonight, and she is usually very disconnected with me and the kids when she is at home. Her friend made it clear that my wife is adamant she's taking the secret to the grave. That the sex was unprotected. In parentheses, why did I say yes to the details? Yeah, why? And why does the friend know? And that she's continued talking to him this week. The friend also said she's fairly confident it was a one-off mistake, but that she doesn't seem to understand the gravity of what she has done to our family. Leave! Run! Go! I am heartbroken for my children who will forever have their lives altered because of their mother's decision. It's burning a hole inside of me. I'm laying on the couch at 2 a.m. shaking, still unable to process it, and am terrified of what the next few days will bring. I guess I'm halfway venting, but also looking for advice. This is disgusting. I will also say this. I can't imagine like the burning anger that he must feel, and he's keeping it under wraps. Like, I used to have anger problems. Not to the point where, anger management had to step in, but I used to be like, I would use anger as a way to cope with my emotions. And when I couldn't like find a way to vent that out, it would come out to people who didn't deserve it. I can't imagine. And the shit that I was angry about was stupid. I was stepping on a banana peel. Someone cut me off in traffic. I can't imagine what this dude is going through. When I found out a handful of hours ago and realized there was no room for this to be a misunderstanding, I immediately thought divorce was the only path forward. I can't imagine I'll ever trust her again. Or trust again. Let's be honest. That's crazy. 7 years and you have kids. On the other hand, I love her. I feel bad for her in all of this somehow because she comes from a family where things like this happen. Her mom abandoned her when she was a kid, and she has no real reliable family. I can't see how she could possibly land on her own feet, and I don't want my babies to be put in bad circumstances because of her lack of options. The family she does have is where I'd assume she'd go, but they are all drunks and drug abusers. How do I move forward from here? I will survive whatever path I have to take. But what is the best path forward for my relationship with my little girls? I am lost. Any advice is appreciated. I'm not going to touch the comments yet. I need to see if there's an update. There's no update, but 3 months ago he was saying 28 male. 4 days ago, 3 days ago, I guess it updated. He's a 27 male. So, the math ain't mathin'. Okay, I'm not even gonna graze the comments yet. Oh, I'm getting angry just reading this. I hate cheating. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. This is disgusting. This is diabolical. This is villainous. And I was correct on she's gonna take the secret to the grave. And in a lot of cheating stories, when this is the case, the cheater becomes lovey-dovey to a lot of us compensate our emotions. A lot of time we overcompensate, and especially if we can't grapple with something, you will tend to overcompensate. Now it's going to be hard to pull up an example of that, maybe if I think of one. But in this specific context, she's overcompensating what she did with the extreme lovey-doveyness, especially when you said she is disconnected when she's at home with you and her kids. None of that is excusable in any way, shape, or form. What makes this unforgivable is the fact that she is still in contact with this dude. She's continued to talk to him during this week. So she slept with him and is continuing to talk to him. Without putting jokes aside, how do you go to the bar with your dad and then end up sleeping with your ex-boyfriend of 2018? What kind of night did you guys have? Here's my advice. I'm gonna try to be as serious as I can. These are a lot worse than the stories we read last time, and this is only two of three. You're gonna save yourself a lot of hurt. Don't try to rationalize what she did. If you can, don't try to attach yourself to what she did. Start the process to leave. Come to terms with what comes next. Because I'm not someone that could sit here and tell you about law, but unless you're in a state where adultery is a divorceable offense, shit's gonna get split. She's gonna have access to the kids no matter what. But without none of that, no law things in it, get out. However you see fit. Remove yourself. That's how you protect your peace and how you protect your kids' peace. No matter what, this is gonna hit your kids, unfortunately. And then it's up to you from what comes next to harbor that relationship with your kids. Let's get into some comments. Oogie Boogie I Am says you start at the beginning by finding out where you stand with things. The reason why we tell people to go and speak to a lawyer is because it's a necessary part of that, where you stand if it comes to that. As painful as it is right now, the next couple of weeks and months will be you finding out things. You'll be finding out about the legals and the financials about marriages breaking down. You'll be finding out about her and what she has been doing, even right in front of your eyes. You'll be finding out about friendships and about family support. And most importantly, you'll be finding out about yourself and what you can and can't handle. The life you thought you had is sadly over. Oh, what the hell happened in my throat? What comes next will be up to how you wish to handle things and what your end goal will be. So part of the above is you answering that question. What is it, realistically speaking, is what you want? There's lots of advice you will get, and all of it is worth reading and listening to. Again, you need information, and you will need to sort through it all and use some, all, or none of it to make your decision. So how do you move forward? One step and one day at a time. You move forward slowly, methodically, and with as clear a head as you can muster. You do not have to make a decision on anything until the time comes. You must, though, refrain from having sex with her. Nothing will make things worse than her falling pregnant. Take that off the table and use whatever reason you can think of. If it means you have a 2-month-long headache, then so be it. I'm so sorry that you will find yourself in this position. No one deserves it, but please know that you will get through this and you will survive this and you will come out the other side. Well spoken, Oogie Boogie. Well spoken. This is very tough. It's a very tough situation because not only are you married and there's kids involved, but now the legal system has to get involved as well. It's not just like, oh, break up, right? I know I was saying run earlier, and I know it's not as simple as that. But from an outside perspective, reading this at my desk on a cozy morning, I could say run. That is, oi. Yeah, and then I'm not going to read the whole comment, but go to your doctor and get an STI test done for sure. Be safe. Be safe with your willy. Be safe with The anti-Willy. I'm just kidding. That's it for that story. That story pissed me off, to be completely honest. For the last story, and I regret picking it after reading that one, it's a male 26 and a female 24. 3 years together, and I found the truth on her Apple Watch after she broke with me. I am supposed to see her tomorrow. Oh, and this one's got an update in the post. I'm a 26 male, and my now ex-girlfriend, 24 female. We were together for 3 years. It was a real relationship, not perfect, but loving, stable, and committed. During the last few months, I've been dealing with a parent being in the hospital, which has been one of the hardest periods of my life. She knew this, and at least outwardly seemed supportive. She went on a family trip over the holidays and New Year's. Right before she left, everything between us felt great. She was affectionate, loving, and reassuring. I had no reason to think anything was wrong. When she came back, something shifted almost immediately. She became distant, shorter replies, less warmth, and less less emotion. Eventually, she broke up with me over the phone. She said she needed space and couldn't continue the relationship. The breakup was emotional but calm. The next morning, she sent me a long, kind message about how amazing I am, how much I meant to her, how grateful she was for me. It was confusing, but it sounded so loving. After the breakup, we talked in person, and she said she wanted to stay friends. I was hesitant, but agreed we could try. No, do not. Do not. Under no circumstances should you be friends with an ex. And that's not even for your next partner. Save yourself the peace, save yourself the emotional turmoil. Do not stay friends with an ex. That's an Atlas decree. You don't follow it. We planned for her to come pick up her things later that week so that we just have a fresh, clean start between each other. I still had her Apple Watch and was genuinely just going to charge it to be nice before returning it. When I did, messages started popping up. Curiosity got the best of me and I looked. What I saw completely took me off guard. There were text messages between her and a guy she had met during her trip with her family. The messages were not innocent. Things like, I can't wait to visit you in New York. You're not mad that I invited myself, right? I wish I stayed the whole night, but my family was happy to see me in the morning. And plus, so much more. I have photos of all the texts on her watch. Suddenly, everything made sense. The distance she showed before the breakup itself, and even the loving behavior before and after the trip. What hurts the most is that this happened while I was dealing with a parent being in the hospital, during one of the most vulnerable times of my life, and she could still be loving to my face while planning trips and mornings with someone else. I'm supposed to see her tomorrow so she could pick up her things. I haven't confronted her yet, and I'm not sure how or if I should. I don't want drama, I just want to walk away with my self-respect. Respect, my friend. No drama. Walk away, self-respect. Keep it. Right now, in the moment, I want to blow it up in her face, but no, that's not the wisest thing to do. I'm just writing this so I could sleep on it. Might give it a couple days now and let my emotions calm down. There's 2 updates. There's an update, then there's a minor update. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to say this. If you, the viewer, are ever in a situation where an ex wants to be friends, whether cheating or not, however the relationship ends, do not be friends with them. Do not. I know that there are specific cases where it works out. I know that there are specific people that can make it work out. I will never understand it. I've been in that situation before. I never want to be in that situation ever again. It sucks, especially because you are not allowing yourself to heal. You are keeping the thing that gave you the cut, the metaphorical cut, around to cut you more and more times. God forbid she starts telling you about this new guy. It hurts. It hurts like a motherfucker. Protect your peace, protect your emotions, protect everything. Because at the end of the day, you are what matters most. You as in you. Okay, I'll make that clear. Like for me, I am what matters most. Here's the update. Just woke up and here are my thoughts now. He says, wow, thanks everyone for all the replays. I'm assuming that's replies. I stayed off the phone after I posted this. While I got barely any sleep last night and was just thinking of all the situations playing out in my head. Now after reading these replies, I'm just going to play it cool and take the high road. Perfect! Putting all her shit in a bag, write a note inside it and drop it off. I know if I have a conversation with her in person, it's going to make everything worse and I don't need to hear anything from her. Perfect! Also, as one of you said, I do have the guy's phone number. She's still texting from Mexico, so I'll shoot him a text giving him a heads up. Now, this is controversial. This is controversial. Forgive me. I think in this situation, that is the right thing to do. I don't know if this dude from Mexico knows, or this person from Mexico knows, I should say. A lot of the situations, you have no obligation to let the other party know. Okay. And I say that specifically as in you have no obligation. In this context, that is the right thing to do. It's hard for me to say otherwise when I don't have other situations to base that off of. Regarding her friends, I don't think I'll tell them over text and blow her up like that. If I see them casually around town or at a bar, I'll break the news to them because there is no chance she is telling them the truth, right? Sometimes. Besides that, just going to put all my time and energy towards my parent who had been in the hospital for several months now. Good on you, bro. I'll keep everyone updated on how this goes later today. Now here's the minor update. We're just gonna go straight right into it, okay? Thank you everyone for the responses. It's amazing reading them. I packed up all her stuff and wrote her a note saying I know the truth and hope she can live with the lie she told me. As much as I want to stir up the pot, I just want to live in peace. However, maybe in a couple of months, out of the blue, I'll send her this Reddit page. I'll update y'all when the drop-off happens. This happened 4 days ago. There's no update. But he said next week I'm going to do the drop-off. Responding to a comment, because this one I'll read this comment if I can find it. Here we go. Basically, someone said, don't text the other guy and turn it into a bigger mess. And then he responded saying, I'm not going to text the other guy. I do think in this situation, that is the right thing to do. Just be like, hey, we were together. Not sure if you knew that. We broke up. I don't, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. Whatever. The second story was a lot worse than this. And I don't regret reading this one. Like I said before. He wasn't really asking for advice, but I already gave it. Do not be friends with an ex. And under no circumstances should you be friends with an ex. It causes you more problems than you think that you are saving. 9 times out of 10. In very specific situations, sure, you can be friends with an ex. But 9 times out of 10, just leave it alone. Let them go grow. Let yourself grow. Okay? That's all I have for today. I feel like this was a somber because these were harsh topics. Last episode we read a story about taking long showers and the dude turned out to be an insecure guy. This one was cheating and marriage and kids and law and meeting your boyfriend's work wife. Also, if somebody knows why people do this work wife, work husband BS, please tell me. I don't understand it. I've never had a work wife. I've never had a work husband. I don't know anybody who's had a work wife or a work husband or has ever used that term before, but I've heard it through the goings on of TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. Listen, guys, this might be a longer episode, so I hope you're still here. Thank you so much for the positive reception on the last episode of this Reddit reading. I hope you're all having a wonderful 2026. I hope your New Year's resolutions are still going a little over 2 weeks strong. For me, myself, we've stumbled a little bit, but in terms of our resolutions, we're still going strong. If you like this video and you find yourself coming back to these videos, please like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. I make content talking about anything and everything for the time being. So if there's anything that you would like me to talk about, a subreddit you would like me to visit, or anything that you want my thoughts on, just let me know. Put it down in the comment section. I read all comments. If I do get comments, I'm going to shout them out in every single video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.